will also pass through that if you are not good upstairs, you cannot be his friends.
For almost 3 decades now, and he has been a very, very faithful person.
There were also virtual birthday wishes from the wife and some of the children of the celebrant who are currently abroad. In attendance at the party was also an old friend of the celebrant, Alhaji Garba Bello Kankarofi, former MD, Kano Broadcasting Corporation, and one-time chairman, Kano Pillars Football Club. Mr. Shegun Olale is a frontline media practitioner who holds broadcasting journalism in high esteem. Little wonder he was made the general manager of the People's Tele, OGTV, twice. For the birthday boy, attaining the age of 70 is something worthy of praise to God. Prince Olusegun Olayinka Olaleye, Irinja Town, in Yewa South local government area of Ogun State, and was born on November 23, 1950.
Oversight functions.
Happy birthday to Prince. And now to Ipokia, where the Opo of Idosemo, Oba James Idowu, celebrated 3 months of his reign by giving traditional titles to sons and daughters of the land. We have the excitement, the thrills and the frills of the event in our next package.
Idosemo is one of the towns under Ipokia local government in the western part of Ogun State. Mostly agrarian, this they do with passion and with relative success. Recently, the governor of Ogun State, Prince Dakwa Abiodun, installed and presented staff of office to the monarch of the town. Opo Idosemo, Oba James Idowu, is someone everyone in the town and in neighboring communities said is the right peg in the right hole. The monarch, retired inspector in the Nigerian police, is now 3 months on the throne. But this occasion looks much more than that. To commemorate the day, eminent sons and daughters of Idosemo were selected for different traditional titles. These are the people expected to support the monarch in taking the town to the next level.
Lágbára Ọlọ́run, irú ọjọ́ òní la máa rí, ìbànújẹ́ òní bẹ́ni kọ̀ọ̀kan wa.
Òpó Ìdósẹ̀mọ yìí, gudugudu ló méje ìyá mẹ́fà ṣẹlẹ̀. Bẹ̀tẹ̀ àdúpẹ́ pé ibi táwọn fẹ́ kókó sí lówó sí.
Ìṣe wọn mò ń tẹ̀lé nítorí nílùú yìí nílẹ̀ Ìpókíà yìí wọ́n rẹ́kọ́gínáàsì àwọn bàbá wa àṣeyàn gidi. Àwa náà dẹ̀ ń tẹ̀lé ìgbésẹ̀ yẹn náà nítorí ìlú abínibí yàn èèyàn ò gbọ́dọ̀ wá dákẹ́ kó bàjẹ́.
The town was painted with guests from far and near, a number the town has not witnessed. From Balogun of Idosemo to Iyabiye, they were all decorated as a mark of honor on one of the biggest titles of the land. Okpo of Idosemo, Oba James Igbohu, thanked Governor Dapo Abiodun for the honor and support, just as he called on him to look forward to Idosemo.
Ọlọ́run ló fi mí sípò, òun ló lè jẹ́ kí òní kó rí bó ṣe rí, nítorí mi ò fira mi sípò gẹ́gẹ́ bí àwọn bàbá wa ṣe ń ṣe. Ifá náà fi mú mi, èmi kọ́ ni mo yanra mi, àwọn tó fi mí síbí àwọn náà ń tì mí lẹ́yìn, ó dẹ̀ máa dùn jù báyìí lọ.
Oba Igbohu also thanked the people of the land for their support and promised that he would put the name of the town on the world map.
Àwọn ìletò tó yẹ ká kó mọ́ra, nítorí Òpó of Idosemo kì í ṣe Òpó of Igbohu, so ó comprise àwọn other tribe, àwọn tó dẹ̀ tọ́ tó dẹ̀ yẹ ká fi sípò tí àjọṣepọ̀ wa kó lè fi gún régé, àwọn la fi sípò gẹ́gẹ́ bí olóyè.
Èyí máa dùn tó èyí máa dùn tó ní ti gbajúmọ̀ ẹ̀bà ayẹyẹ èyí máa dùn tó ní ti gbajúmọ̀.
Mortals have been reminded of the need to work in line with the teachings of the holy books, as they are the only guide to eternity. Venerable Dr. Isaac Jesulola gave the charge during the funeral service for Mama Sabaina Oluwalambe Oduole, who died at the age of 91. Benga Adekoya was at the auditorium of St. Paul's Anglican Church, Oduono, Ibadan. Venue of the service is reported now.
The final home journey of Mama Sabaina Oluwalambe Oduole began with a funeral service at the auditorium of St. Paul's Anglican Church, Oduono, Ibadan, where family, friends, and well-wishers converged to pay their last respect, who died at the age of 91. In his sermon, Venerable Dr. Isaac Jesulola admonished the congregation to always do death is inevitable.
Matthew chapter 13, when the multitude gathered to him, he had started with several parables. Don't forget the parables of the seed and sower. He gave interpretation to that when the man was sowing seed, he was going to the field. Some fell on the roadside, some fell on the soil. Even though he didn't give a precise interpretation, he was saying, oh yeah.
The deceased children and families later danced to the altar for special thanksgiving. The remains of the deceased were later interred at the church cemetery, where family members performed the dust-to-dust rites. Having spent 91 years on earth, family members of Mama said she would be greatly missed.
Mommy was a very good woman, loving, caring, hardworking, and godly. That's one thing that she taught us, to be hardworking, to be caring, to be loving, to be...
My mama was a wonderful mother-in-law to me. It wasn't just mother-in-law, but a real mother. A hard-working woman who is full of love, compassion, and I love him so much that he gave me a daughter, because I can see the attribute of her life in her daughter. And so I cherish the life of Mama when he was alive. He's been a role model to every good woman.
My mom is the best mom ever. She was my greatest cheerleader, my inspiration. I know she sacrificed a lot for her children. Very hardworking, very prayerful, always there, not just for us, the children, but for other people. She's the type that people around will come to when they needed advice.
She was a very wonderful and loving grandmom. Grandma was full of so many loving deeds, and she lived a fulfilled life, an accomplished life. I'm sure she is now resting with life. She's been a wonderful grandmother to, of course, to the grandchildren, and she was a wonderful grandmother to the grandchildren. She was a wonderful mother to our own children. I bless God for her life.
Guests were later entertained at the auditorium of Professor Adebowale Training Hall, IARNT, Oduono, Ibadan. Mama Sabaina Oluwalambe Oduwole was born on 5th October 1929 in Itele, Ijebu, Ogun State, and birth her last on 13th September 2020 at the age of 91. She is survived by children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren.
May our soul rest in peace. Another high-flying Nigerian is our personality this week. He is Dr. Onyema Ogbuagu, who is at the core of developing the much-needed COVID-19 vaccine for the United States government. We present him to you in this package.
Dr. Onyema Ogbuagu is the son of the former Vice Chancellor of Abia State University, Chibuzo Ogbuagu. His mother, Stella, is a professor of sociology. Onyema has a twin brother who is an engineer. Born in New Haven in Connecticut, which serves as home to the Ivy League Yale University in the US, Onyema would return to Nigeria to complete his university education, only to go back to Yale School of Medicine to work as the director of the institution's HIV clinical trials program. The Nigerian medical official studied medicine at the University of Calabar in Cross River State and graduated in 2003. After graduation, he had his internship at the Ebonyi State University Teaching Hospital. He then went back to the US, where he continued his training at Mount Sinai School of Medicine. After becoming a fellow of infectious diseases, he rose to the heights of an associate professor of medicine at the Yale University School of Medicine, New Haven, Connecticut. He has worked there for 5 years, focusing on finding a cure for HIV/AIDS. The associate professor has led several researches in the US and Africa. He works in the Faculty of the Human Resources for Health program in Rwanda, where he mentored medical residents in junior faculty and clinical research projects locally relevant in addressing important infectious diseases-related problems. He has worked at the Liberian College of Physicians and Surgeons, LSPS. Amid the coronavirus pandemic, Dr. Ogbuagu's groundbreaking research in the field of modified genetic code has catapulted him into the public eye, as is one of the brains behind the research advisor for the potential world's first effective coronavirus vaccine, in a historical development that could very well define his career. Nigerian-born Ogbuagu is among the lead researchers developing the Pfizer vaccine. In an interview with ABC News, Ogbuagu said the Pfizer vaccine will help people achieve immunity, and it will be the beginning of the end of the pandemic.
You know, those of us involved in the trials are really super excited. We're really quite unexpected. We quite expected that the vaccines should at least have more than 50% efficacy, which is what the FDA said as far. But it's just so heartwarming that vaccines have been so effective. And it's great because, having a very effective vaccine would help us achieve the so-called herd immunity, which would mean that if we have enough people who receive the vaccine and are protected against the virus, this could really be the beginning of the end of the pandemic. Obviously, there are insufficient doses for everyone, like has been mentioned already, and we're hoping that as we start to phase in the vaccine and also to have more doses in the first quarter of 2021.
Best of luck to Dr. Ogbuagu in his quest to get rid of the ravaging coronavirus pandemic and make the world a better place to live in.
And that's another Nigerian making waves over there. Here is wishing him very well. And that's how far we can go on this week's edition of Social and Community News. A very big thank you to you for staying with OGTV. Till next week when we'll come back here with fresh edition. Stay tuned.
The best way to end the year 2020 is to